Do you have a toxic person in your life? Maybe it's a manipulative family member or a coworker. Whether it's a boss who has you walking on eggshells, a partner who can't stop complaining about every little thing, or a friend who takes pleasure in tearing you down, it can be difficult to figure out how to navigate the relationship. Draining, unsupportive, and difficult people are one of life's greatest challenges. In this video, we share with you 10 ways how you can deal with difficult and toxic people who come into your life. 1. Set and enforce boundaries. Saying yes when you should have said no will leave you feeling stressed, anxious, angry, and frustrated. Many of us inflict upon ourselves this stress and anxiety because we think we have to, in order to be liked, accepted, or included. The truth is, being a doormat, a people pleaser, and a pushover doesn't really do anyone any good. You don't have to betray yourself to be likable and worthy of love. It's okay to say no without an explanation. A person with healthy boundaries understands that making their expectations clear helps in 2 ways. It establishes what behavior you will accept from other people and what behavior other people can expect from you. Communicate these boundaries clearly and stick to them. It's important they know what you're not willing to tolerate. It is also crucial for you to set some limits so people don't take advantage of you. Remember that boundary setting is an act of self-love, self-care, and self-preservation. In aircraft emergencies, we're advised to put on our own oxygen masks first before helping others. Healthy boundaries will be the protective barrier in your life, enabling you to sustain what is precious and important to you. You'll discover a sense of freedom and peace of mind by respecting yourself enough to set the necessary boundaries in your life. 2. Ignore them, their insults and backhanded compliments. Someone can tell you, "You're not as dumb as you look," or "You look great for your age," or "Your hair is beautiful." Is it real? Toxic people insult others to feel better about themselves. They insult you or find more subtle ways to belittle you or make you feel insignificant. They might be particularly likely to make disparaging comments when they're feeling threatened in some way or afraid their flaws will be exposed. When a narcissist attempts to insult you, it's in reality a compliment, even though it wasn't intended that way from their end. Because what they are really saying is, "You threaten me, your light shines too brightly, that's why I have to dim it. You are too visible in your gifts and assets, that's why I have to shame you into hiding yourself. Your intelligence, intuition, and discernment are razor sharp, that's why I have to gaslight you into disbelieving it. Your voice is too powerful, that's why I have to silence it. You must never show the enemy they can get to you. If you show people you easily can be triggered, they know how to always attack you or get under your skin. When the enemy sees there is no point of access, there is no way he can get to you or under your skin, they have no choice but to leave you alone. 3. Avoid playing into their reality. Some people have a tendency to see themselves as the victim in every situation. If they mess up, they might shift the blame to someone else or tell a story that paints them in a more positive light. Toxic behavior can make you feel like you did something wrong, even when you know you didn't. You could be the kindest, most generous, hardest working person on the planet, and toxic people will turn themselves inside out trying to convince you that you're a liar, unfair, nasty, or a slacker. They might get personal, try to twist your words, or accuse you of wanting to hurt them. You offer help and solutions, but they never seem to want to fix anything. Remember, you are not at fault, no matter how hard the person tries to convince you otherwise, so don't let them guilt trip you. Instead, respond with a simple, "I'm sorry you feel that way," and leave it at that. By doing this, you're keeping your energy intact by not letting them feed off of it with your reaction. They will always talk about problems and negative things. Focus on the positive when talking to them and do not try to change their mind. Offer compassion, but don't try to fix them. Stick to the facts without making accusations. Remember, you can't reason with a fool. Arguing with a toxic person is like trying to argue with an actor in a play. It doesn't matter what you say, they will stick to their lines because it is the only role they know. 4. Move in silence and stay low-key. Jealous people are incredibly toxic because they have so much self-hate that they can't be happy for anyone around them. And typically, their jealousy comes out as judgment, criticism, or gossip. People who are intimidated by you talk bad about you with hopes that others won't find you so appealing. Jealousy unchecked can result in all kinds of evil. In James 3:16, we find the words, "For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder and every evil thing." Envy is rotten to the core and is one of the top reasons why people slander others for no reason. Envy is dangerous and it breaks many relationships. If a person is envious of you, they will do anything to throw you off your game, to erode your confidence, to cut you down to size, and make you feel inadequate and deficient as a person. When the green monster of jealousy and envy rears its ugly head, it's important to see what God says about jealousy and moving in silence. In Matthew 7-6, we find this wise counsel: "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." That's where wisdom comes into play. We must be wise with what we share with people, learn when we have given more than we should, and have wisdom and discernment to see how and who God is calling us to share our hearts and lives with. Staying low-key and moving in silence, you avoid unnecessary challenges and harassment from envious people. Your road is smoother. You stay out of the way and out of trouble. If someone starts to gossip jealously about other people, watch out. This might be a toxic person, and you never know what they say about you behind your back. They will praise you to your face while throwing mud on your name behind your back. If you know someone who does these things, keep your conversations light and insignificant. Do not invest a lot of effort into those people and talk about light topics. Shut down attempts at oversharing with them. For example, you can say, "Actually, I prefer not to talk about my relationship at work." 5. Stay calm and don't react emotionally. Toxic people are drama magnets, and they thrive in a crisis because it makes them feel important. They criticize, judge, and oppress, and they enjoy every minute of it. People who behave toxically tend to focus on themselves and what they want. They might blame you for any problems they have and show little interest in your feelings or needs. It gets them sympathy and it gets them attention. Best of all, it allows them to manipulate the emotions of the people around them. That's why self-control and resilience are vital skills. You need them to manage your feelings, deal with adversity, and grow by overcoming obstacles, instead of allowing them to hold you back. Restate your boundaries and try not to take their spite personally. You are not responsible for their emotions and the way they feel. Stay calm, collected, and cool-headed. Breathe slowly and deeply, think then respond, but never react to their accusations. Don't let them trigger you emotionally and push your buttons. Don't let them get you out of character. The Bible says in Proverbs 4:23, "Guard your heart with all diligence, for from it flow springs of life." In other words, heart refers to our private thoughts, feelings, motives, and desires. An entire sea of water can't sink a ship unless it gets inside the ship. Similarly, the negativity of toxic people can't put you down unless you allow it to get inside you. 6. Focus on solutions, not the problems. You're always giving and they're always taking, or you feel like their emotional stability depends on you. You might value your relationship with this person, but don't offer support at the risk of your own well-being. Healthy relationships involve give and take. They are based on a mutual desire to see the other succeed in all areas of life. In other words, you offer support, but you receive support too. But when things turn toxic, every achievement becomes a competition. You don't feel supported or encouraged, and you can't trust them to show up for you. Instead, you might get the impression that your needs and interests don't matter, that they only care about what they want. Taking care of yourself involves making sure you have enough emotional energy to meet your own needs. This may not happen when you're giving everything to someone who doesn't offer anything in return. Whatever the course of action you take, whatever decision you make, there will always be someone to tell you that you are wrong. However, their words should not have an impact on you. They can say what they want, but don't let that distract you from achieving your goals. You must keep going, no matter what. You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. Hence, you should get going and not feel depressed or disappointed by anyone who keeps barking. Ignore them and focus on your goal, for your achievements will give the answer to their doubts. 7. Limit your time with them. Do you dread seeing a particular person? Feel anxious or stressed beforehand? Take these feelings as a sign you may want to see them less. Whether it is by changing your routine, taking some classes, doing hobbies, or keeping busy in general. Negative people suck all the positivity out of our lives, and the longer we allow them to dwell in our orbit, the more they take. They don't have the capability to appreciate other people. Toxic people will do anything to keep someone in their place, and the more you try to step out of rank, the more they'll pile on the toxic behavior and manipulation that allows them to regain control. We stay in toxic relationships, with our friends, with our family, because we think we can change them. The honest truth, though, is that no one can change unless they want to. All we can do is learn to manage our reactions and our proximity to those who would tear the world down, given the choice. If you're dealing with someone angry or violent who picks fights with you or repeatedly pushes your boundaries, consider scaling back the amount of time you spend with them. If you don't feel that you can just end the relationship, then, at a minimum, reduce the time that you spend with that person and develop clear boundaries to keep yourself charged and healthy. If you're around someone who is constantly diminishing what you do and who you are, instead of appreciating you for who you are, then it's time to start looking at how you can reduce your exposure to them. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great ones make you feel that you, too, can become great. 8. Own your strengths and your weaknesses. Toxic people will work hard to play up your flaws and play down your strengths. It's how they get their power. Be careful about who you choose to confide in. Every listening ear isn't there to help you. Jesus said to his disciples in Matthew 10:16, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents, and harmless as doves." Similarly, we must combine the wisdom of the serpent and the harmlessness of the dove to survive in a toxic and challenging environment. Strive to be gentle without being pushovers. Exercise whatever wise shrewdness you can to avoid conflict and danger without losing the dove-like innocence that will allow you to continue to proclaim the truth without fear. Once you are aware of your flaws, nobody can use them against you. If you're able to own your strengths and weaknesses, what they think won't matter, because you'll know that your strengths are more than enough to make your flaws not matter, or at the very least, to make them yesterday's news. 9. Have an exit strategy and get support. There are people out there who will make you feel uncomfortable whenever they are around. It is as if they were born to humiliate you, distract you, and get in the way of your success and happiness. Toxic people want to control everything and everyone around them. They freak out when you disagree with them and won't stop trying to convince you that they are right, and you should do what they say. Sometimes, cutting people out of your life is the only way to escape their toxic behavior, especially if this person is being abusive towards you or has tried to ruin your life in various ways. Know your options if you anticipate even the smallest possibility of retaliatory abuse or violence. You can always get help. Know your local emergency contacts or contact the domestic violence hotline. Remember, normal people don't go around destroying other people's lives. Get away from people who don't believe in what you're doing in your life. Find your circle of encouragers if you don't have one already. A therapist or support group can be an important part of healing and sorting through your feelings and options, especially if shame or embarrassment makes it hard to talk to your friends about how this toxic person has been treating you. Whatever your current story, do not let toxic relationships suck your life and your passion away. In the majority of all difficult situations, this is more than possible. Sometimes you have to lose those toxic relationships to create a space for better things. It doesn't matter if you've been in the relationship a long time. You always have a way out and a right to take that path. Until you let go of all the toxic people in your life, you will never be able to grow into your fullest potential. 10. Pray and meditate. God promises to all those who believe in Him, "Behold, I give you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." Luke 10:19. Serpents and scorpions are the devil and his demonic human agents. Every evil man or woman that seeks your downfall, every evil human agent fighting you in your family, workplace, or business place is also a serpent or scorpion. The good news is that God has given His people the authority to crush them all, to place them where they belong, which is under your feet. Serpents and scorpions can be crushed. Also, demons can be crushed by believing in God's word, by fasting and praying. If you are struggling in a relationship where you feel you might be in danger of giving treasures to the wrong people, ask God to show you His wisdom for you. In Psalm 32:8, God promises to those who believe in Him, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will guide you with my eye." He will guide you and protect you, give you peace, and show you the way if you only ask Him. You deserve to have people in your life who you enjoy spending time with, who support you, and who you love hanging out with. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification and share it with friends.